Huge news here in New York with Sheraton getting the brand getting a bit of a makeover and a vision for 2020. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd call it a makeover. I would call it sort of an enhancement. I think one of the things when we look at the Sheraton brand, I mean, this is a brand where you can go all the way back to 1937 to see its roots. So we have a brand kind of 80 years of history. It's Starwood's largest brand with, 430, soon to be 450, and then on to 500 hotels. It's a global brand. And I think when you have a brand of that size, I think it's really important. And oh, by the way, particularly in your part of the world, particularly in AP, we've seen tremendous growth. Just our signings this year, Sheraton has dominated, and then 4 points by Sheraton. So we've got the halo effect of Sheraton in AP. We're extraordinarily happy with the signings momentum and the openings momentum. I think when you've got close to 450 hotels, you have to keep looking at it, and you have to keep sort of saying, how can we make this better for guests? How can we make this better for owners? So one of the things that I'm most excited about in our decision on Sheraton, the new plan that we're launching today, is we're introducing the concept of Sheraton Grand. Because I think amongst that portfolio of 450 almost hotels, there are some truly, truly exceptional owners and some exceptional hotels. And applying that grand designation so that when a guest checks in and they know that they're staying at a Sheraton Grand, we think it gives it that little bit of cachet, a little bit more cachet, a little bit more not uniqueness necessarily, but just a little bit of recognition that owner has gone the extra mile to create a truly spectacular Sheraton hotel.
The word enhancement's fantastic. Are you looking to get other owners to enhance their hotels to pick up to the grand standard at the same time?
Yeah, I think in the conversations that we have had with owners as we have tested this, I think that having owners who are truly proud of the assets that they own is obviously something that every hotel company aspires to. And I think that if we can have the right kind of dialogue with owners, where owners want to aspire for that grand designation, I think it's great for the hotel, I think it's great for the Sheraton brand, and I think it's great for Sheraton guests. And our SPG guests, who are our most valued guests, we communicate with them so much, and we get such frequent and helpful feedback from them, that I think that the Sheraton Grand designation is going to really resonate with our really, our most active SPG travelers.
A good flow-on effect for potential new Sheratons around the world at the same time as well.
Yeah, I think, we, particularly in Asia Pacific, when I talk to my development colleagues in Asia Pacific and I say, which of our brands is I'm going to say, easiest to sell? I mean, it's never easy. It's always competitive and it's always challenging. But when I talk to my colleagues, particularly in Asia, about our portfolio of 9, now 10 brands, and I say, which of our brands is in most demand by owners and developers, in Asia Pacific in particular, Sheraton is first off their lips, and interestingly, 4 points by Sheraton, because of the halo effect of the Sheraton brand, is the second brand off their lips. So listen, we are extremely proud of the Sheraton brand globally, and I think that the important thing is you have to keep looking at every one of our brands to take it to the next level. So today is a really important day for us as far as taking Sheraton to the next level.
Also looking after the prestige of a brand with so much rich history. I mean, you look at, it's not the most luxurious brand in your portfolio, but it's probably the most prestigious.
Well, it's certainly the largest, it's certainly the most storied, and I think that, go to the Sheraton on the Park in Sydney, just as one example. It is a spectacular hotel. It is arguably a very luxurious hotel, and it certainly performs at the very top end of the average rate spectrum in Sydney. So I think you take a hotel like that, I think that our new owners, Sunshine, they will be, I think they will be very eager to be seen to be at the absolute top level of the Sheraton brand. So, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if there's a conversation with them.
And 2020, what are a couple of the other enhancements we're looking at to really, I guess, like you said, refine that brand a bit further? Alongside the Grand, we know obviously you want a bit of a meetings focus. That's obviously helping your sales as well, isn't it?
It is, and I think this applies. I know this applies to all of our brands. When you look at the hotel business, in my mind, you have to look at what we do from a number of different perspectives. You obviously have to focus on the guest. You obviously have to focus on the associate, because it's the associates that are delivering the service product. You have to focus on the meeting planners, because they're responsible for so much demand. And Sheraton has a very rich history of being a very active product or active brand in the meetings market. And then the fourth group of people are owners. And I think that one of the things that we need to keep reminding ourselves of is we've got to focus on those four constituencies. And I think that if there's something that I ask my development colleagues to spend as much time focusing on as possible, is positioning us and making sure that we are the most owner-friendly of the hotel brands. Now, being owner-friendly doesn't necessarily mean that we give in to all owner demands, but it means that we listen to what owners are looking for, we respond to their needs and their demands as far as how do we help them drive top line, and how do we help them drive bottom line. So I think in the Sheraton 2020 campaign, and I think actually across all of our brands, for me it's that focus on the four constituencies: the guests, associates, meeting planners, and our owners. And we have to have the right balance.